matter what it is in life that you want, you gotta go out there and get it. Just don't let it come to a sleeper but a dream. Never give up on your goals, stay focused on you. Focus your view, succeed, cause I'm hoping you do. Keep climbing up the ladder, cause the key to success. Go hard and go home, never settle for less. Life is stress, but we gotta deal with it, homie. Send a prayer to the man to put a shield on it. Work hard for what you get, appreciate what you got. You can always improve, just don't stop. Going for your dream to achieve in your life. Gotta take a chance like rolling the dice. It won't come to you, so you gotta go get it. At the end of the day, add up the digits. Miss Price used to say, if there's a will, there's a way. So I live by it until this very day. I kept on mashing and I never gave up. Me believing in myself is the way I came up.
Don't let them hold you down. You gotta get up. These are your dreams. Never give up. Never ever give up. You gotta keep on hustling. Keep on rocking. You gon' make it. Keep believing. Never ever give up.
What's up, team? This is Robert Porter with the I Love San Bernardino County radio show on KCAA NBC 106.5 FM, 1050 AM, where we will talk politics, culture, history, and today a little bit of small business, right?
Small business and some local activism, giving back a little bit.
Yeah, we got Daniel Garcia in the house today. Daniel or Danny? What do you like?
My friends call me Danny. So
What's on your birth certificate?
Daniel.
Yeah.
I'm actually just sharing this right now. Don't mind.
Well, either or, and we'll go through some of the stuff that he's involved with, and involved with the sponsor of today's show, right?
Yeah. One of the guys that's helping us make this happen is Vegan Corner. They are actually, I would want to say one of the best in the area, but they're one of the only in the area that does vegan pizza. Exceptionally good. We just had a bunch.
And wings.
Vegan wings. We got some over here.
It was good, team. Like it was like I don't know. It was like it was good.
It was good. They're good. It's a good product. It's healthier than anything else. I think it's some of the best pizza. Period.
If you're craving wings, it definitely got the buffalo sauce and all that.
As far as like vegan though, healthy food, I would say it's some of the best in Southern California. It's definitely, and my favorite. I only drive to two places for pizza. These guys are in Grand Terrace, right down the street, and the market, Grand Central Market in LA. Outside of that, I don't do it. But these guys have been helping. The reason we're working with them, and as you know, I only work with businesses that give back. They've been sponsoring events. They've been helping us feed people. When there's someone who's in trouble, or we have a community event, or we have a bunch of volunteers coming together to do something amazing, like cleaning up the streets, or just they themselves putting a feeding for a pantry together. These guys will come and step up and make sure that everybody gets to try their delicious product. And at the same time, it's a way to say thank you to the community. And if you take care of the community takes care of you, and they understand that. So that's why we have them front and center today. But we'll talk about some upcoming events, some recent events for some resources in case people didn't make it.
Yeah, we'll
get after. But we got something a little bit more important once.
Yeah. We'll talk into that, and not more important, but
those is the most important.
Yeah.
This is the most important.
It is true. That is one of the most.
We're talking about the Constitution here,
and we really don't understand it. How important it is, and most of the time, but it actually guides.
It's the glue that has held us together this long.
Yeah, it guides everything. Well, I have to mention our main sponsors for the show tonight: Fire Mariscos and Wings. Geraldo Del Campo over at Fire Mariscos and Wings on Cord Street. He really loves the community. He wants his business to do good. He wants San Bernardino to do good. He wants downtown to do good. So if you can, please head on over there to Court Street. It's right there behind Molly's on D and Court. It's right there. It's called Fire Marisco and Wings. Big blue building, red signs, good food. Head on in there. Get the fish tacos or the shrimp tacos. I like the, what was it called? Michoacana.
That's good stuff, yeah.
Camarones Michoacana with the fire sauce. That it bite. It's got a bite, right? So, and the other day after our neighborhood association meeting, we went over there with Councilwoman Sandra Ibarra. So me, Amy, the councilwoman, she had the carne asada with the serrano chilies. And let me tell you, that stuff has got a bite to it right there. Good stuff. And then Amy had the fish tacos. So good. Please go over there and try some of this. I mean, it will burn your mouth off, Eric. And you'll end up going back craving more. So they got wings and ribs as well. And if you want the fire ribs or the fire wings, you can get that too. It's got little slices of those serranos on there just for you, Eric. So head on over there and try them. We got to support our downtown businesses. I also want to thank Celebrities Bar and Grill and their $9.99 steak special right there on 40th Street. Max, Zaire, and Zoe are actually opening other businesses as we speak. And but they want you to still go down to Celebrities and order the steak special, or order the Celebrities beef dip, or a vegan margarita, right? Yeah, he does have some vegan options. There's salad, and salad, and I'm bad here. Oh. I don't know all the vegan options.
I don't know, but it's another business that helps out the community and has been a responsible, civically engaged company that gives back.
You got to support local businesses because that's a sales tax that goes into the community as well, right? So when you buy food in Grand Terrace, that money goes into the general fund of their...
So the city fund, the county fund, and more than that. Again, if it's in a businesses like one of these two, they get the people out working together, mingling, getting to know each other the right way, which is giving back.
And don't get me wrong, giving back that way is very kind. But anybody can give back in our community by shopping local.
Oh yeah, just by patronizing a good business.
Yeah, and like if you shop, if you want San Bernardino to get sales tax, you might want to spend more money in San Bernardino. You know. If you do want more roads fixed in Yucaipa, well, you should probably be spending more money in Yucaipa, right? So, but I don't mind if you come to San Bernardino and try Fire Morisco's, right?
There you go.
You know, occasionally I go into to Redlands and go downtown and eat something, you know, ice cream or whatever. So it's good to consider it local, even if it is Victorville or Redlands or Grand Terrace, right? But if you want to specifically help an area because they need help, like San Bernardino, you know, go to that Home Depot, right? Go to that Sam's Club and that Costco, right? And help them out that way. All right, I want to thank our sponsors, all of them that are helping out. Very, very cool. And you know, these places got some good food, team. So, I mean, it's more than just they're helping the community. They got awesome food. So, even vegan, we got vegan options today, man. So head on and patronize these places. You know, give them some money. And
if you want to try the vegan pizza, what is it? Here we go.
Yeah, and
it's a family-owned business, small family-owned business.
Before we move on, we'll talk a little bit about it. Like, how do you get there?
It's off of Barton. It's where the old Domino's used to be, right across from.
So you're getting off the freeway.
Yeah, 215. Just go. You go into Grand Terrace, and it's right a block up from Little Caesars.
Okay.
So.
All right, sounds good. And I'd like to mention our I Love San Bernardino Standout of the Week, Rory Murray, a local artist, a muralist, cannabis advocate. That's in fact how I met him originally. He was doing the Brownie Mary Party of San Bernardino, and good guy. Then like all of a sudden, I was like, "Well, you do all these other things?" Like, yeah. So he was like painting the mural at the McDonald's Museum. So like him and Phil Ye and their team, you know, painted the whole outside. And one of the things they painted was one of my favorite subjects, the arrowhead.
Nice. So
I got to do quite a few interviews with Rory over there with I Love San Bernardino TV and I Love San Bernardino, and he's just a good guy overall. And then he was also involved with, local schools, painting murals for them as well.
That's something I'm into. When I had the Bernie campaign, I believe we were the first. We might have been the only. We had an office in Pomona. We had a 4-man team, and some of my partners out there got us an office right next to the Fox Theater, or the smack downtown. And because they have an arts district, we had we invited the local artists to come in and do
Do a mural.
political murals inside our office.
oh,
Our
right
entire
on.
office is covered by local art, local talent, supporting, and not just Bernie, but
And it's important to
civic engagement in general.
because there are muralists that want practice and they'd like to get paid for their work
And exposure,
Yeah,
and there's usually a fine line between keeping that sort of thing in either the street art, or in facilities where it's more professional / commercial, like a school or library. But when you give them carte blanche to do something political in support of volunteers or something like that, it kind of comes into a gray area that most people don't touch, which is politics.
and it helps artists.
Well, that's why having their name and their
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
So Rory is a great guy. He also, when we had the December 2nd terrorist attack, he wrote a song about San Bernardino, and sang it on my radio show, and then also sang it at City Hall. So that's really caring when you're getting down and writing songs about the community. And then I actually just saw him at Cosmic Comics. It was Phil Ye and their team put together.
That's a new one, right?
Yeah, like a group of comics, all over at the Garcia Center. So
Not this Garcia.
me and Amy went over there this weekend, and we interviewed each of the artists. It's very interesting work, and it got their own subculture really, with Comic-Con and all that stuff.
Yeah, I did Comic-Con with
Yeah.
some of the guys here from San Bernardino back in the day.
So really cool stuff. I want to thank you, Rory, and this is brought to you by Ben Chavez with First Lineage Site Services. Ben wants to help our community the best he can, and he helps showcase local non-for-profits, people, businesses, or whatever. Let me know if you got a I Love San Bernardino standout of the week. Let me know, and maybe we'll make them that next.
Okay.
I do have I have a couple more things here. We got the Arrowhead Springs Hotel history. Now, do you know any of this?
I do not.
Do you have any of this? So this is the San Bernardino history tidbit, but one of my favorite things is Arrowhead Springs. Like the Arrowhead Springs Hotel, you can see in the background here, team, right under the Arrowhead. It's that big white mansion, currently owned by San Manuel Band of Mission Indians. And they own all the property around it, and the bottom 20% of Arrowhead Peak. So, and all the way around the corner of the Arrowhead too, they own all that land there. So, San Manuel are the caretakers of it now, but we do have some early history, so I'd like to share it with everybody. And it's such beautiful history. Dr. David Nobel Smith established a treatment house at the Arrowhead Hot Springs. By 1868, it had been enlarged to create a hotel. In 1885, he leased the property to Darby and Lyman of Los Angeles. 3 days after Smith's death, on March 17, 1885, the hotel burnt down. Darby and Lyman incorporated the Arrowhead Hot Springs Company and rebuilt a new hotel in 1886 for, guess how much? $150,000.
Wow.
Not too bad for a huge hotel, right?
Well, back in the day, that was
Yeah, not too bad. And
quite more than it is today.
yeah, moving the lumber and everything around. After it was expanded to 120 rooms, it was the largest hotel in San Bernardino area until it too burnt down on July 4th, 1895. I wonder what happened. Firework, right?
sure, yeah.
Yep, a firework burned it down. All right. The third hotel was by Seth Marshall in 1905, and in 1930 it was purchased by a consortium of Hollywood types. In the days before air travel, it was marketed to Hollywood stars like Loretta Young, Mary Pickford, Spencer Tracy, and Humphrey Bogart. A forest fire destroyed the third hotel in November 1938. The present structure, the fourth hotel, opened in December 1939 at a cost of $1.5 million. This time the hotel was 6 stories, and the grand opening featured Judy Garland, Al Jolson, Rudy Valle, all people I don't really know.
Those are all huge names.
Yeah, they're huge names.
Those are the Angelina Jolie and the Brad Pitts of their day.
I couldn't name their movies and stuff, so we need to update a few of our stars, or at least let me, I need to do a little more studying and watching those old
those
movies.
are huge names. Those are the biggest names at the time.
They are definitely. However, World War II caused the hotel to be taken over as a naval hospital in 1944. After the war, Elizabeth Taylor spent her honeymoon with Conrad Hilton on the 6th floor. Dorothy Lamour stayed here and later built a home in San Bernardino. The hotel was purchased by Campus Crusade for Christ in 1962. In 1894, Arrowhead brand Mountain Spring water began to be pumped from the site as it is today. However, Arrowhead brand water also comes from natural mountain sources in the United States and Canada. Since it was purchased by Nestle's Waters in North America, you can still see the trucks pumping water. And this all comes from the city website, and I'm sure from Mark Landis's and Nick Cataldo's hard studying. So, excellent history. I kind of let you, 4 different hotels, not just one, right? So 3 others burnt down. One burnt down because of a firework. One burnt down because of mysterious circumstances. The first one, right after the owner died, and
Prohibition era, right?
And it's been protected since then, since 1938, since it was built, and hopefully it stands the test of time and survives many more possible burns in that area. And San Manuel, of course, loves history. And
as long as Oprah doesn't want the land, I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, like I don't think anyone could buy it from them. Like owning that is like they're pristine. But like we could bring Oprah in, like
No,
I'm
we
sure,
should not. We should not.
No. This is the thing. If anyone could bring Oprah in, I think you.
Let's protect the kids. Let's leave her out of this.
San Manuel. I think that any billionaires that can come to San Bernardino get involved, that would be awesome. We don't have very many billionaires around here, so.
Yeah, there's a few. They're just they're hidden.
There's a couple, but
Mark Cuban's the only one I think will actually do good things, but.
All right. Well, I hope you guys like that San Bernardino history. Now I hope you guys got this in the mail. This is called San Bernardino Now. Right? I hope you just didn't put it in the round filing cabinet and just like
most people.
Yeah. This is put on by Parks and Rec in the Community Service Department. And this is the December 2023 or September, October, November, December 2023 edition. It is just filled with information that you can use, team. City Department, Animal Services, Dog Park, Around SB, Winter Camp, City Library, Senior Services, Adult Sports, Youth Sports, Center for Individual Development, the Delman Heights, Rudy C. Hernandez, Lytle Creek, Vermont, Community Volunteers, Aquatic, City Facilities Map, Facilities and Amenities, Reservations, and Special Events. So that's a table of contents. So that it goes. It even has the commissions and boards in here, team. It has our Parks and Rec, every commissioner in there, what ward they're from, and even look at this, dude. I know you're not paying attention over there, but look at this, right?
I'm gonna get my events ready.
It says Robert A. Porter, Ward 7. I'm even in this thing here, team, man. They wasted ink on me. Do you believe this, Eric? Do you believe this? I don't know. I go. Anyways, they got the museums. Their numbers in here. The museum's numbers. Like, if you want to bring your kids, you can just call and say, hey, what's the deal? Or how much does it cost? Or is it free today? Or any events? Are you showcasing bugs or the Wild West? Or what's going on here? So I just want to read through these museums because I don't think a lot of times we think, oh, San Bernardino's got museums. They usually just immediately think of our county museum, which is one of the best museums around because, I've been going there since a kid and I love it. But here's a list of the museums. San Bernardino History and Railroad Museum, the San Bernardino County Museum, the San Bernardino Historical and Pioneer Society, which has a museum in the back there, right? And the Heritage House. The San Bernardino Police Historical Society and Museum. So inside the police station, there's a little museum. Have you been to that one yet?
I haven't, but we talked about a little bit about this last time, considering that we have, what is it, Morgan? Is it Morgan Earp?
Yeah. The
Earp brothers are buried here, and their house is here.
We got original McDonald's site and museum, right? We just talked about that. The Inland Empire Military Museum, which is right next door, run by Mario. Norton Air Force Museum. So that's off of 3rd Street in Tippecanoe right there. Maybe up a little bit up from 3rd and Tippy. Cal Fire Museum. Wait a second.
That's new to me.
Yeah, where's that? I think you might need a reservation for that. That's why the number's there. I've been wanting to go see that.
Oh, those are probably on site.
Yeah, I think it's over there. It might be on by Parkside and Sierra Way right there. Yeah, the Ranger area. All right, and we got Route 66 Museum of San Bernardino. Where's that at? Where's the Route 66 Museum?
You got me.
We're gonna have to make some phone calls.
You just opened up a can of worms. We need a whole show just for the museum.
Museums that I don't even know. Okay, and then we got the Robert and Francis Fulton Museum of Art. All right, so that's pretty cool, and it's got these other things in here. So we got the Community Dump Days. We got our next one is October 28th at Seckham Lake, and so you just need like your water bill or proof of where you live. You can't have like commercial trucks, but you can like unload your trash, team. Bring your stuff down there. Throw it away. I mean, like we've thrown away huge dressers and stuff, and that stuff just crunches under those hydraulics, and they haul it off. So, load up your truck, load up your neighbor's truck. The more stuff that we throw away, the less end up on the side of the road and things like that, right? And going to the dump is expensive, so this is free.
And before you throw furniture away, always check with your local churches or nonprofits.
Oh, that is true. Or just give it away on Isle of San Bernardino.
Yeah. Post it on Facebook. Post it for free on OfferUp.
I'm just talking about that thing in the backyard that
But here's the deal. Yeah. Here's when you post, and sometimes this is where a good deed goes bad. There are people out there that will take everything and anything they can get their hands on, save it up, and then have a massive garage sale. Or if you call a local nonprofit, or if you call a church, they know whose family just got burned down. They know which wife just ran away with her 3 kids from a domestic violence situation, who really, really needs it. So if you have it in your heart to do so, check. You don't have to go to the church, but just give them a call and say, hey, I got this nightstand that I want to get rid of, or whatever it is. Because I think we can all help each other a little bit better that way.
Yeah, and if you like. To be honest, if you're scamming on Isle of San Bernardino, you're gonna get caught. There's nothing but a bunch of investigators on there, I think. But I do understand what you're saying, and
because I see it's happened to me, and it happens all the time.
That's what they get caught for. Yeah. And it did happen to us at the Home and Neighborly Services. We were Blessing Angels had a side thing when we're doing the food distribution, and they were giving away clothes. And this lady kept coming in and getting clothes every single week. And then her rival ratted on her and basically
for having a garage sale or online store.
She's like has a garage sale every. But like
people, it happens to us. We on Wednesdays, one of the events that we'll talk about is every third Wednesday we have a diaper distribution here in San Bernardino through California Action Partnership, and then we also give away food boxes, all kinds of stuff. And then we see who comes all the time. Who you can tell who needs it. Sometimes you see people that if you look in their car, when they come pick up from us, they already have a bunch of stuff. They've been picking up from everybody else that day. And then, sometimes we have to do our due diligence, and we'll check Facebook Marketplace or this or that. And once in a while, these knuckleheads are, they're that sloppy. So don't be that guy or that young lady.
You shouldn't do that.
But for the most part.
I do respect the hustle. But
not what our country needs.
We like.
There's one, but that's not a hustle. That's chasing your tail.
Well, yeah, like going around, but like you're like going around and collecting all that stuff.
These knuckleheads are spending with gas prices today. What are you making at the end of the day? Go get a job.
Get something else that will like.
Or hustle something else. Go buy something to resell.
Just not catalytic converters.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I think they
leave my catalytic converter alone.
I think that has kind of ran its course.
I hope so.
For the most part, yeah, people started writing serial numbers on stuff and reinforcing stuff, and they
I haven't heard a lot about it lately.
No, it's died down because that means that someone has actually stepped up.
Police has also done their job. I can imagine they were getting that was getting brought up every single.
Well, that had to be an annoying phone call for them.
Meeting,
but it's easy. You just go to whoever's buying them. I mean.
Yeah, that's another thing I like to I had to remember for you, team, just now. At the neighborhood association meeting, we had the lieutenant there, and he told us that we've actually moved down the list of most dangerous city to 14. Right? from number 1 and
Oh, no,
number
I don't
2
live
to
here, but
14.
yes.
Now, I mean, that is a significant improvement. Now, we're talking about like 20% reduction in like violent crimes and murder
Well,
and
new
stuff.
police chief, new mayor.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some things to be that with some people we need to command. And I mean, and, you know, we have some serious changes recently.
Well, you can give the mayor and the police chief some props. They get all the props, anyways. You go to a police officer and say, "Thank you for your service," right?
Yep.
And like
John Echeverria,
Yeah,
I think he just got promoted. He's a sergeant from SBPD, City
yeah.
Council in Colton, and
No,
that
now-
guy's always doing stuff.
now he's a lieutenant.
Lieutenant, yeah, that's what I mean. He just got promoted. He's a
yeah,
lieutenant now.
yeah.
He was the sergeant. He was
Yeah.
the PR, the media
Yeah,
officer.
and he's a good guy.
Yeah, great guy. I met him because he was my niece and nephew's soccer coach. So he's not just doing the PD thing, the city council thing, coaching soccer, sometimes picking up trash on the weekends with the neighbors. It's yeah, that's a servant leadership right there.
He's just, being in PD, I've seen him everywhere. But
Yeah,
like once he
he's a
ran
good guy.
for council, I was like, oh, that's really awesome.
Makes sense. Makes sense. When you
Yeah.
see somebody that's actually putting in the work and mentoring kids and cleaning up the neighborhood as opposed to everybody else is just trying to get on committees to get that extra
They
check.
just had a huge basketball fundraiser.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
unfortunately, I did not make it, but I did tell them that I would share it around as long as he dunked.
So speaking of that magazine, speaking of John, they have I don't know if you can see it, but the Colton Connection. It's the same magazine, and so you can go on their website or on their city site. You can go on this city site and look up when everybody's typing like next month. There's gonna be a lot of trunk or treats if you're looking for safe activities for Halloween.
Yeah.
If you're looking for sporting, they have a night where you can take this. It's a drop-in sports. You can just go every Friday night to a certain location, and the kids can play sports with everybody else without the leagues. But they have a bunch of different activities. So we don't have enough time to go through all these pages, but some of these cities are putting the effort in on these magazines to let you know where you can go to get the kids off the street, so they don't become a part of that statistic that you were just talking about.
And it's not just kids. These
Oh, a
things
bunch
have
of adults,
stuff for
seniors,
seniors
yeah,
too, right?
seniors.
So we got the Senior Center general information. I'm assuming that yours has the same similar information, and it's got all the all the spots: the Paris Hill, 5th Street, Lytle Creek, Hernandez. So it kind of lays out the numbers when they're open, like when they have billiards or bingo or ice cream socials.
Yeah, for like Cooley Ranch and Colton, they got the Colton Connection there. I'm looking at it right now. It's got a basketball page for the basketball league. And they have preschool and school age programs for the young ones, a teen hub for activities, a drop-in sports at Gonzalez Community Center. So you can look that up and just see what your kids want to get into.
This is perfect for Eric. Registration opens August 1st, 2023, Inland Empire Senior Games.
There you go.
2-week sporting event, dude. We're going to get you out there, man.
Hey, we'll
Like,
see.
you could probably win at least. Well, is there anything below bronze?
So Tuesday, October is going to be on a Tuesday this year, the 31st. Just because I'm looking at, I don't know if it's in there yet, but I saw they're having.
Dude, why are you wearing your mask already?
Because I'm trying to look like you. All right. Someone had one before coming in.
I got jokes coming out of everywhere, team.
I didn't know we were. I either missed the shot or the doobie, something before this.
They're coming right out of the trash can here, man.
All right.
All that corn.
We'll put them back in there.
All that corn.
Yeah, it's real corny.
All right.
We're going to turn it into Dad Joke Comedy Hour.
So before we get, I do want to mention a couple more things in this book. There's, places like PAL, they need volunteers.
Oh,
So,
everybody.
It's got a bunch of places also, like for sports. If you want to do basketball, if you want to do adult basketball, women's volleyball. I mean, I am just so impressed by the amount of work that Parks and Rec put into this, and major props to Lydia and her team, or Director Gutfeld and her team. But like whoever actually put this together, the nuts and bolts and everything, man, thank you so much. It is just something that everyone should read through in San Bernardino. And then please don't just go to these events, Steve. I mean, just because we got them written down doesn't mean people are going to them. So San Bernardino will definitely have a Halloween event come. Oh, it's probably in here. Oh yeah, I did mention. I forgot to mention. This is in Spanish and in English, right? So you flip it together. Let me read this off real quick.
Get a picture of the front of that.
Oh yeah. So the main things that we got to remember, we got the Halloween trick or treat, Right, and that was really fun last year. That's 5 to 9 on Friday, October 27th at Vermont Community Center. We got the Dia de los Muertos event coming up at Court Street Square. We got Cult Cinema Classics at the Roosevelt Bowl. Killer Clowns, well, that's going to be October 13th. The Rocky Horror Picture Show will be October 31st.
Nice.
Right. And then the tree lighting ceremony, which is always a lot of fun in Court Street Square, will be 5:30 on Monday, December 4th. And Miracle on Court Street, did you go to that last year?
I did not.
Oh, man. 12 Days of Christmas. So basically the times will vary, but it'll be December 5th through 16th. And, you can get a picture with Santa. They have a day where they give out toys. There'll be the Christmas tree lighting the one day. I always have a blast at that. I love the Christmas time. So I mean, we also got these community events. I've got to bring them up. Route 66 team, October 7th, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Right there in downtown San Bernardino. Will you be at this one?
I probably will. That's a really fun event.
It is always fun. And
Got a lot, tons of awesome cars.
a lot of pictures to be taken at that event. And a lot of people to meet. I
Yeah.
always have so much fun.
It's a big community event. There's a good turnout for this one.
And you get to meet people from all over too. So like it's kind of like, it gets to show San Bernardino off a little bit. And I like that. I mean, people hear bad things sometimes out there in the world. And when they come there and they see that it ain't like that, bam, it's always positive for me. We got the Turkey Trot. So sbturkeytrot.com. And that's on, guess what day? Thanksgiving! And guess who is the MC of the San Bernardino Turkey Trot? You'll never guess.
I don't know, but
You never guess. Robert Porter!
He's in there, right? They wasted ink on that guy, too?
Yeah, no, I didn't make it in that one. But then we got the Ho-Ho Parade, right?
People like their hosts.
Yeah, so the Ho-Ho Parade has been around since I was a kid. It's changed a little bit, but now it's December 4th through 7th, and they just do like a parade through San Bernardino, 4 different routes. So Santa, Frosty, not Frosty, what's the Olaf, there you go, Frosty, Olaf, or whatever, Santa. We just have a good time, and the kids seem to love it. They don't throw candy out anymore like they used to, but they actually hand candy out at the different parks that they end at. So
I have family over there in Cooley Ranch and on Colton. I don't know if they do it in San Bernardino or downtown, but they have the fire trucks actually over there. They go around throwing. Yes. Santa goes around on the sleigh, which is like the county fire trucks, and they throw a ton of candy in Colton and Cooley Ranch. That's awesome. And all the kids are out on the sidewalk waiting for that.
Do you remember any of those when you were a kid?
No, they didn't do that where I go. Yeah. I was in Marina Valley during middle school.
I can remember all these things, and it just gives me, like, when I see it, it doubles the nostalgia feel. You're like, oh yeah, this is awesome. So anyways, team, we got a lot of good things in San Bernardino.
And got to do a little bit of reading, and then we have some events that are coming up this week.
I'm putting him to work. So most of us have never read the Constitution. And the first 5 amendments are pretty important, and they're not too long. So Danny's going to read them off for us, and we'll discuss one after you go through each one.
All right. And then my hand's a little funky. I did have a car accident and a bunch of other stuff.
Okay.
But all right. So the righteous document, the most important thing we'll do tonight is the Constitution. Amendment 1. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or the press or the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition government for a redress of grievances. So you should not have to get a permit for 50 people or more, which is something that's been happening.
What does that mean, Eric? So what do you think that means?
That means the ultimate expression. That means that you have the right to say anything you damn well please, as long as it's not fire in a theater, because you don't. At that point, you're infringing upon other people's rights to liberty, life, and pursuit of happiness, which is their health.
And that actually never occurred, but it was just an example that was used that, like, you shouldn't be allowed to, say fire in a crowded theater and then people get hurt. And
that's because your constitutional rights afford you a constitutional boundary to protect your rights. So if I do something that's going to make people stampede upon your immediate private space and health, that I have gone beyond what this protects. But you should be able to criticize.
What about when that, where this all gets a little fuzzy is when that moves into the psychological. And when you're psychologically doing that same thing to somebody, it's still, is that free speech?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I can say there's, you believe in that at 9:59 at night every night, a purple boogeyman is going to come and, come take your cotton candy or whatever. That could be psychologically
I was just
traumatic
thinking,
to someone who doesn't have the cognitive ability or the two brain cells to rub together.
For what it's worth, it's like I don't honestly believe that the far right should be able to be racist and spew their hate online at all.
That type of speech is the most important.
But that is protected by
But
the American Civil Liberties Union,
But
it's
we
a
understand.
constant thing. So
Hearing things we don't want to hear is the most important thing in a free country.
to protect us from not knowing that existing in the first place, right?
No, not just that. I mean, if we are a herd of deer or bison, and we are all heading towards a cliff, but we cannot have one bison say, "Hey, maybe we shouldn't do that and go the other way." Where does the nation go?
All right, I see what you're saying. I personally still think that.
I know we don't have to like it.
Yeah,
It can be despicable and disgusting. But if we don't protect what we don't like, we may be what others don't like.
And in the straight up honest truth, we don't have any choice. These decisions are made by the Supreme Court of the United States, and we can argue all day long, all we want to.
Well, that's a beautiful part of this. It's been argued, right?
They'll decide based off of how they feel that this law should be interpreted, and they do. And free speech actually was said to be money.
Right.
So technically, right now, money is free speech.
Well,
and
corporations, right? Corporations are people now, is what it is.
Yeah.
So that, which is
no, and money is considered free speech as well. Yeah.
That's an abomination.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Even corporations having personhood is an abomination. So nations go through chapters, right, of right and wrong. Well, let's just say that's a pimple on her face right now.
All right, number two. We're going to
Number two.
This one's scary.
This was my favorite.
Yeah, it's scary.
And that's
scary.
And it's important. After they said you could say anything you want, what was the next thing that they said? A well-regulated militia be necessary for the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That doesn't mean you have to be in a militia.
What won't be infringed, Eric? Yeah.
The right to bear arms. And that's not animal arms. The right to bear arms.
Extra.
The right to bear arms. That means that you can say whatever you want, and as some communities have pointed out, the reason that the Second Amendment is number 2, because number 1 says, hey, say anything you want, but you better have a gun.
So what my dad interpreted the Second Amendment to mean, and being a military veteran and fought with the Marines in Vietnam, is that you should be able to have any gun you want. Doesn't matter what it is. But me personally, now, that my dad used one of those guns to kill himself, right? So this is a little serious, right? Makes me realize, the only person that the guns that he bought, at least in America, that killed anybody were him. So it didn't work out all that good for me. But guns that were given to him in the military that he took to Vietnam killed 15 people, right? So I can see in that situation where you could need, if you're in war or you need a militia, so be it. But sometimes I don't think you need a rocket launcher, right? So that's where we're at.
You never know, because you don't know you don't need it till you need it.
But see, that's where I get what you're saying, but I'm going to take you on this point. So you yelling in a crowded theater, to me, is no different than launching a grenade launcher.
But owning and using are two different things. Because you could own guns here, you can't go shoot them across the street. You have to take it to a certain place. So there are regulations in place to protect. So there's states in this country.
So Mr. Libertarian. So what about if
you can go rent a tank and shoot it in certain states?
Should everyone be able to get a tank?
Yes.
Everyone should be able to get. What about a nuclear weapon? When do we
well, at what point do we keep?
That's what I'm saying. Where do we go?
Nuclear armaments are regulated by the United Nations and
so are rocket launchers.
No, but here's the deal. there's been people who have experimented with that type of energy and technology, and the government's pounced on them very quickly. That is, nuclear weapons stem from bigger things, nuclear or energy generation, right? A tank is something that they're pretty
Isn't
normal.
it convenient how a libertarian will make it sound like
No, how about
the way
this?
he
How about
wants
this?
it?
No. If a person can responsibly prove that they can create, manage, and secure,
A nuclear weapon.
well, at the end of the day, but
Like, it's just not going to happen. But like,
it's not going to happen. But here's the thing: like, why take a reasonable argument to somewhere where it's not reasonable? Nobody owns a nuclear weapon in this country privately that we know of. Thousands of citizens in this country own tanks.
Well, and this is the reason why we have the Supreme Court again. And
So certain states, we can't. If we're going to go macro a little bit, right? Step away from California, we have to look at the whole picture. And there's been a lot of states, especially in the Midwest, where some states say, hey, if you go through the proper training and you have all these other weapons, you have bazookas. Some people have bazookas. Some people have rocket launchers because they have enough land.
And some people have tanks and
Yeah.
cannons and all that stuff.
Yeah, and they have
too.
enough land to go run around. And you can go to Vegas and pay, I think it's like $1,500 and run over, get in a tank and run over vehicles.
Yeah, but all those people tend to not like the people in the inner city to have those things. That's what it usually ends up.
Well, because people in the inner city are usually represented by people like East Chicago,
Yeah.
where they're killing themselves by the dozens every weekend.
I just know that, like, if you start driving a tank around here, they are going to pull you over. They are going to make sure that it's roadworthy. Like, and why I know
Well,
all
it can't
this-
even be on the road.
my-
Can't even be on the
well,
road.
no,
because of the weight.
There are certain, you could make adjustments. You could take the tracks off. You can make.
No, but the weight will
yeah.
not allow you to drive it on most like you couldn't take it on this road.
They
right?
like my friend drives and fixes military vehicles,
Okay.
and they are on, the police watch you, but there are ways you can do certain ones. Okay, so like.
So let's bring it back to our holy beloved, which is everybody's
so-
AR-15.
so which-
Everybody should be allowed to have an
which-
AR-15.
The Supreme Court will decide this for us too, so it don't matter what we say. But I don't think they're going to allow like nuclear weapons, but they may allow open carry in California someday.
Well, it's been proven that open carry
Yeah.
should be allowed.
Well,
It had the ability that people
have
cannot
you-
open carry, and
What
that
about-
was just overruled. That was just overruled by a
have you heard
court.
of the Old West? Dude?
Yes.
Yeah.
An armed society is a polite society. There's a reason that the most armed cities have the least
The
amount of
Old
crime.
West was not polite, dude.
You're talking about the Wild West.
Yeah.
The Old West was the established West, the pioneering stage. Those people still had guns. They just will stop shooting at each other because it wasn't the Wild West. All right.
We
So-
still have guns. We still have guns, and it is a Wild West out there.
Well, only in certain parts of the city which developed that reputation in Chicago. But
All right. Well, next one. But
beyond the OK Corral.
they
So,
will, the Supreme Court will decide this too, and it probably more.
what is that? Open carry?
Well, yeah, they're going to decide probably that guns are
right.
Yeah, right.
There was a judge who recently, a federal judge, I believe, who recently
They're
said.
even letting drug addicts get them, team. I mean, I'm not lying. They are letting drug addicts have guns now.
Well, how are they gonna? What are they gonna
Yeah.
do? Test you for Xanax when you're picking up
Yeah.
a 22?
Yeah, like
I think mental health is more of an issue than drugs when it comes to
I
this.
never even knew they had that law in the first place, but now it's interesting to see that they,
So,
may have to get.
so
rid
I
of
think these amendments have been put in order of importance and relevancy,
it. Okay.
and there's a reason that it's at the top, right?
Yes.
Our founding fathers ran away from some stuff in some
You get to
fashion.
speak and you get to have a gun.
You got
Okay?
because you got to protect yourself because the concept. So the government's not going to come after you speak because the government says you say what you want, but the nuts around you that don't like what you say might come after you. Then you got to protect yourself.
Okay. All right.
All right. So that making more sense now.
All right. What's next?
So when you got 15 or 20 nuts, you need something more than a 10-round magazine.
Okay.
Amendment number 3: no soldier shall, in time of peace, be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law.
So that makes sense. Like basically, like the British were coming into their houses and just taking everything.
Taking over the
Yeah.
estate.
And then use it all for war and burn your house down in that.
Oh yeah. If you're lucky, they didn't burn it, but it was still a mess.
And then they beat everybody, and there's no more war really happening, and they take your stuff anyway.
So it's protecting
yeah.
your property.
Yeah.
It's a protection of your property. And there's a reason that it's so high up in this level is because of what was going on at the time. It
yeah.
was a common practice.
It was something
by
that
imperial
that
colonial powers.
bugged a lot of people.
Well,
and
colonial
affected,
powers, yeah. Because at the time, the American citizens they were second-class citizens to the colonial powers.
Yeah.
So that was something that was
Especially
big
to Britain. I mean, to England.
So number 4, The right of the people to be secure in their persons, their houses, their papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things being seized. That is the right of you for privacy and the security of your own belongings. People cannot, if you get pulled over, they cannot search your car without asking you. People cannot go into your home. If they go into your home, they cannot go into every room. If they go into every room, they cannot go into every locked cabinet or safe. You have the right to protect your items and have some sort of privacy. So just because you get pulled over doesn't mean people get the right to look at your girlfriend's naked pictures on your phone, right?
What about, where does that right end, do you think?
Probable cause and reasonable suspicion. So just because you smelled weed, a lot of times, especially before this got popular and became, commonly accepted or socially acceptable, to smoke cannabis out freely here and there. But I smell marijuana would be the probable cause to search your car, whether they smelled it or not. People really abused that. I think we can all remember that time. Even though I'm not a user, even though I've never had rolled around with that in my vehicle, I've even had that happen to me. Like, we thought you were speeding, or you had a whatever. But it's not like that anymore. But for businesses, if the government wants to see what your business is up to, right? You have intellectual property that you need to protect.
So what about what the Patriot Act? Okay.
Oh, you talking about Obama dismantling a big portion of that?
Oh, no, I'm talking about the NSA wiretapping surveillance of the United States.
So now you're entering a different commercial. So we have our phones here, right? Mm-hmm. We know it's been proven that our phones are. Do we have right to privacy? I think this amendment's been weakened the most.
Okay.
And there's a reason nobody talks about it, and the reason for that is because we're doing it to ourselves, right? What you tolerate will continue in a manner where we know that these phones have microphones that are listening to us. And if me and you talk about dog food, when we go turn on our computer, because it's linked to the same account, what's the first commercial we're going to see on our computer screen? Skippy, whatever it is. But I
love bacon!
We'll just say hot chicks 2,000 times, see what pops up on your computer. So the point being is, we've kind of given up a lot of liberty and security for comfort and the use of technology. So we can't blame the NSA and a lot of these orgs. Yeah, their job is to get away with as much as they can in the name of protection and security.
So what you're saying is we really don't have any privacy.
We do at certain levels. There's a couple.
So what about when the
this is hanging by a shoestring? I'll say that.
Satellites can just see through your house and see everything that's in your house. What then?
That's an infringement.
Okay, and then this is a new thing, DNA sniffers, right? So
voice recognition.
So you walk into a store, a restaurant. It gets your DNA. It knows exactly what you might be craving by your DNA,
well, it's more dangerous than that. So when people go to 23andMe and all of these DNA testing software companies, or these labs, and you turn in your stuff, it doesn't just tell them you're half Irish and half Cherokee or whatever it is. It also tells them what medicines work on you best and which don't. What diseases can take you out and which ones cannot. And then the government buys that information.
So what I'm kind of trying to say is that privacy is changing. It's fluid. No,
privacy is disappearing.
And we may not have as much privacy as we were thinking.
Privacy is disappearing. By this, according to this, which is hanging on by a shoestring, privacy, as we know it, is disappearing daily. Facial recognition has been around for a long time. People don't know that.
Do you have the right to protect your DNA?
You should.
Do you have the right to keep it away from these machines, or
you should? I mean, unless they take it from you unwillingly when you're in the hospital, or where you're being booked for some crime.
Like for example, you're just driving down the street and there's like sensors that picks up your DNA. Like, so they know where you've gone.
Yeah, right now, when you're driving down the street, there's license plate scanners tracking your face and your license plate, and they know where you go, where you shop, where you've been all day, more than your phone does sometimes.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's just gonna like.
So forget that they don't need your DNA to track you.
Well, no. Once that happens, it will be the ultimate, right? So like, we're already getting close. They can follow your car and everything, but once they can test you've been in this store, only these people.
I think there's a movie about that, Gattaca.
Well, it's
okay. Well, look that up. Gattaca's a movie about where they have miniature vacuums that can tell. They scan a desk or a chair, and they know who's been sitting there for how long.
They're vacuuming in forests. and finding every single species in the area. This is incredible stuff. They're vacuuming up the bottoms of caves and coming up with ancient human ancestors.
Well, they are finding new DNA. Yeah, I saw that the other day.
This stuff is incredible. Like,
All right.
Next one.
We're derailing here.
We're one more to go.
So number 2, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now let's go to number 5. I just had to say that one.
Yeah, you like that's your favorite one?
No. My number 1 is my favorite one. Number 2 is my favorite. 1.2. Number 5. No person shall be held to answer for capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment of indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or the militia when it's in actual service of time of war or actual danger, shall any person be subject to the same offense or be put twice in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall they be compelled in any criminal case to be witness against themselves, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without the due process of law, nor shall private property be taken from public use without just compensation.
So your right to trial an attorney and right to protect your land.
And your right to
eminent domain.
Shut the hell up.
Yeah.
The 5th. That's what that is. We've all seen Dave Chappelle. I plead the FIF.
Well, that was fun. Thank you for going through that. We had a great show. Please tell your team real quick. Give it one more time.
How much time do we have? Well, what we want to talk about.
1 minute left.
Okay. We have a health fair this weekend. It's Friday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And it will be next to the Arrowhead Regional Medical Hospital. It's by the University of California University of Medicine and Science.
And we've been posting it up on Live of San Bernardino.
Oh yeah, we'll have the flyer on Live
Lots
of
of
San
time.
Bernardino. And then the last person that we want to talk about is the Amazing Technology Group. Is another sponsor team that's coming on board. They fix PlayStations. Anything, they're an amazing group, family-owned business. Their number is 951-213-2359. Again, 951-213-2359. You can get reach Thomas or Kathy over there. The other thing is this Wednesday at 1244 East Pacific, we will post a poster or flyer. We will be doing a food distribution. I'm not sure if we're doing diapers this Wednesday, but it'll be at 9 a.m. and we will have a ton of food and be there till food runs out. We usually bring a couple of pallets. 9 a.m., 1244 East Pacific Street. It's a drive-through food pantry. It is absolutely free. It's done with King's Warriors at the Touch of the Master's Ministry Church. And if you have any questions, please reach out to Rob or myself online. We'll be happy to connect you with these folks. And again, if you want to try these guys to reward their behavior and their contributions to us.
Thank you so much, Danny, for coming on the show. And this is Robert Porter with the I Love San Bernardino County Radio Show. And we are out of here.